Hello and welcome back to another episode of TNT with your girl G. I hope you are having a blessed week so far. I'm a little bit shook because I'm like, it's February. We're now in February. I don't know where that time's gone. I don't know if you're also feeling like this or you felt like this, but January was a little bit of a roller coaster. We had some ups, we had some downs, we had some loop-the-loops. But yeah, we're here now, it's February. I saw this quote, actually, it was quite funny, saying that January is a free trial month. So you know like how you have your free trials at the gym or Amazon? Yeah, apparently that's January for this year and that 2024 starts now. I don't know if you're feeling that. Let me know in the comments how your January has been and what you are looking forward to for this month. But that aside, I really wanted to talk about this topic. It has been pressing on my heart for a little while, and I was just like, God, you need to give me the words to say. And yeah, he's just been refining it and just, oh my gosh, like the encouragement. But yeah, keeping it hot, keeping the tea hot, humble, open and transparent. I have been feeling this so much. Like, the topic we're talking about is how to deal with imposter syndrome, or like if you're dealing with imposter syndrome. And like, this has been me. Like, I'm talking from experience. Like, this has been me. And I couldn't shake it. Like, I couldn't, especially like starting the first few weeks of my job, I just couldn't shake this feeling of like, I don't feel qualified to be here. Like, I don't know if you guys have felt that at all in your life, or if you're feeling it currently, that feeling of, I feel underqualified. I feel disqualified. God, am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be in this role? Am I supposed to be in this relationship? Like, God, what are you saying? And I think there's also a lot of pressure around January to kind of be attaining all of these goals that you've set. So, you know, you start your healthy eating, you're going to the gym, like you're in your word, like you've started the year well. And there's so much pressure that we put on ourselves. And I don't know why we do it, but we all do it. We all do it, right? And so then that then just adds to everything. And I think I just, in the adjustment period, I think of being in my new job and just feeling, I just kept saying, God, like, I know you've given me this. You know, I've gone on about it so much. I've told my testimony to so many people now. You know, I know I'm supposed to be here, but like, am I? Like, question mark. Like, I know I'm here, but I don't know, like, there's something I don't know, I don't feel qualified, like I'm in meetings, like all of this stuff, like people are addressing me, like I have some sort of authority and I just don't feel like I do. Like, how am I here? I don't feel qualified. And do you know what the funny thing is? God doesn't make mistakes. I'm going to say that again, just in case you need to hear that. God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't. And like, knowing that, I was just like, oh, no, I'm supposed to be here. Like, I am supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be exactly where I am. You are supposed to be exactly where you are. Whatever you are going through, whatever you're questioning, you're supposed to be there. And I think as well, sometimes we can think that when we're supposed to be in a place, it should feel like easy, like, oh, God has given us this, like I should be able to, like, you know, be in my stride, like, oh yeah, I'm running this business, da 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 da. No, like, actually, sometimes it's not supposed to be like that. Like, it's not supposed to be easy, because actually, when we grow, when we are challenged, that's not comfortable, you know. We talked in the last episode about like discipline and consistency and growing. And growing is not comfortable. It's not a comfortable experience. When you like grow as a child and you have like those growing pains, it's like, it's painful. Or like, Oh, you know when you have a tooth cutting? Oh my days. That pain, like the wisdom, oh my gosh, it's painful. It's uncomfortable. But it's growth. And I don't know, like God really like highlighted to me that as well. Like maybe you're not supposed to be comfortable, and it's not supposed to be easy, but just know that you're there for a reason. You know, you're there for a reason that is greater than you think. So at the end of the day, like that's all that matters. But it's hard. And another thing that was just really kind of resonating with me as well, as I've been going through this, I've been really feeling like, God, like how can I do this? Like, I know you've given this to me, right? But how do I do it? Like, how do I do it well? How do I do this? And I think it's really important to know that God doesn't give us anything we can't handle. Like, he doesn't give us things so that we fail. Why would he? Like, he's not that way inclined. And I was reading Second Corinthians, because I'm doing a Bible study with my cousins, which I really want to encourage anyone, if they've got people in their life that they are friends with, or just want to deepen relationships with, or you're all in a place where you want to learn the Bible, start a Bible study. It's the most joyful thing, being able to see like people you love or people that you want to get to know, their relationship grow with Jesus, but not only their relationship grow with Jesus, but their relationship grow with you, and like the conversations that you have. And it is just so powerful. And it's just a great tool to just get to know people and also support and be accountable to each other. Like, this walk is not easy. Like, it's not easy. So yeah, just find some great friends or just people that you want to get to know and start Bible study. I challenge you. That was a little side note. But yeah, we were reading Second Corinthians, and we're on chapter 3. And I'm just going to read the first bit, because when I tell you, this just struck me, especially just being in this place of feeling disqualified. And it basically says, are we beginning to commend ourselves again? Or do we need, like some people, letters of recommendation to you or from you? You yourselves are our letter written on our hearts, known and read by everyone. And it further down it says, such confidence we have through Christ before God. And I recommend reading the whole Bible. I also recommend reading Corinthians, but this chapter in particular, 2 Corinthians chapter 3, was just such an encouragement, because I was like, wow, God, like when we go for jobs or when we go into new things in life, like we almost ask for like a letter of recommendation. Like when we go for new positions, we ask for a letter of recommendation from people, and it almost like validates us. It validates the fact that like we're supposed to be here. And in this, I'm like, okay, like, feeling disqualified or feeling like I've got imposter syndrome. I'm like, oh, should I be here? Like almost like relying on other people, or like even like my people that I work with to give me like words to say, oh, like, gee, you're doing well, like, well done, da 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 da, like almost as gratification and validation that I'm supposed to be here. But do you know what that passage says? That I don't need it. I don't need it because I already have that letter of recommendation from God. You already have that letter of recommendation from God. You don't need anything else. Like, he gives you that. Like, and going back to what I said about like him giving us everything we have, like he supplies what we need. Everything that we have is from him, right? So in this, I was like, do you know what, God, like you have given me this. You're not going to let me fail. It says that. You are the recommendation that I need. So why have I taken this upon myself? Like, actually, no, I need to humble it. Like, I need to surrender this gift that you've given me and ask that you give me everything I need. And then he'll give that to you and give you everything that you need to do the role that he's asked you to do. That is then essentially going to glorify him, because it's all about him. Like, everything is about God. The issue is when we make it about ourselves. The issue is when we take that thing. And so, like, it's so easy to do. Like, when we get, like, in a new relationship, or when we get a new job and we're like, oh, wow, God, thanks so much for that gift. Bye. See you later. And then we go and try and do it all on our own. And then we wonder why we are struggling, why we have stress, why we have anxiety, why we have fear, and like all of this doubt creeping in, and why we feel disqualified. Because it was never our weight to carry. It was never our weight to take on. You know, we're supposed to do life with God. He is supposed to be connected to us. You know, like when you go to a gym and you're lifting weights and you have someone to spot you, like you have someone there behind you ready to catch that bar if they need to. They're there with you through it all. And like, even when we look at the it's called The Footprint. It's like, is it a poem, I think? And it's talking about how like the footprints in the sand, and how when we're walking, and sometimes there's 4 footprints in the sand, and that's us and God, and then sometimes there's 2, and like that's not our footprints, that's God's, because he's carrying us. When we go through those trials, he is carrying us. And then we wonder why we have all this weight and stress and anxiety, because we've taken the weight that was never ours to carry. It was never ours to carry in the first place. Like, God, in his kindness, in his goodness, in his graciousness, in his faithfulness, gives us things that we don't deserve. And then we have the audacity to be like, thanks God, see you later. What? Like, and it was just like, it's just mind-boggling, because I literally have been doing this. Like, when I tell you I'm keeping it open and honest, like I was literally like thinking to myself, why am I feeling so stressed? Why am I like feeling like I can't do this? Like, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling all these things, I'm fearful, like what? And it's because I've taken it into my own hands. Like, I think that I can control the situation, or that I know better than God, and I don't. And it's like, okay, let's realign, let's reassess, like, and it's so easy to be done. Like, it's so easy to take that weight, but actually it's not ours to carry. And I saw this quote as well that says, I'm just going to read it. It says, God can do far more with your surrender than you can do with your control. So like, when we surrender these things to God, it is better than you could ever imagine. And our way is not God's way. Hence why it's difficult. Hence why we struggle, because it's not the way it's intended to be. Like, it. And you know, the funny thing is, we constantly make the mistakes. Like, I'm constantly doing it. Like, oh, that was really easy. Why did I not? Because you need to pray. You need to surrender it back to God. And there's again in 2 Corinthians, further down, verse 17, it says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And I was like, oh my gosh, God, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. There's freedom, right? So going back to that whole weight thing, you know, when we're taking on the weight, actually no, when we're in God's Spirit, there is freedom, there's peace, there's joy, you know, there's not anxiety, like, because we're in his freedom. The chains that are weighing us down are released because we're in freedom. Like, and it's like, sometimes it's like, it's that simple. It's 1 + 1 = 2. Like, why we do 1 + 1 and we try to get to 8, I don't know. But, you know, when you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so plain and simple. But then I also want to kind of bring it back and say, we are human. We are flesh. And like I said before, the spirit and the flesh are at constant war. So as much as it says that, you know, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom, we have to choose that. And what I mean by that is God, in his kindness and his just beautiful nature, gave us free will. He gave us free will so that we can choose to have a relationship with him. We can choose the way that we want to do life, essentially. And with that being said, it means that we have to choose freedom daily. Like, we walk through things, you know, daily. Everything happens, you know, changes. Like, life is not just this constant, like, yeah, we're just on this one trajectory. No, it's like a roller coaster, literally like a roller coaster. And something my sister said, which was really interesting, and she said that fear and freedom cannot coexist. They can't. You have to choose one or the other. And it's like, when you look at it like that, you're thinking, why would I not choose freedom? Like, well, why would I choose fear? Like, I choose freedom. I want to walk in freedom, joy, peace, all of that. Yeah. But it's so easy to choose fear. Because when we're faced with those difficult decisions to make, we go, oh, like, I can't possibly do that. Oh no, I'm disqualified. Oh no, I can't. Like, no, Lord, I'm not sure. No, actually, when we go, hey God, I'm really not sure about this. Lord, I'm just praying that you would just give me the answer that I need to walk through this. You know, I'm choosing you. I'm choosing your spirit. And guess what? Whoa, the peace, the joy that transcends is amazing. Like, I have felt this so much this last 2 weeks or so, where I've just been like, hey God, I don't know how today's going to go. I don't know what I'm walking through. I don't know how long my to-do list is going to be. But guess what? I can do all things through you. I choose to live in freedom. I choose to be renewed by your spirit. And it is a thing we have to pick up our crosses daily. We have to pick up our crosses daily. We have to choose to renew our mind daily. Like, it's like when we brush our teeth, like, we do that twice a day, right? Because we want clean teeth, because we want fresh breath, because it's a habit. It's a norm. That's what our life should be like. That's what our prayer life should be like. It should be as easy as breathing. Like, it should be like every day. Like, earlier I was at Tesco's and, okay, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't, oh, this is embarrassing. I'm really exposing myself here. I can't scan like food. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know if it's the position I'm holding it. I don't know, but I can't scan the barcode. Every time it takes me about like 4 attempts to scan like one item, and it's really annoying and it's really frustrating. But guess what I did in that moment? I prayed, and guess what? Beep. I pray over everything because God gives me everything I need, like, genuinely. Like, I prayed for a green traffic light, boom. Like, and I'm not saying every time I pray, yeah, God just instantly clicks his fingers and there you go and he answers my prayers. Like, I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying, like, we have to have the faith to believe that it's going to happen. We also have the faith that goes with the prayer, the faith and obedience. You know, we have to walk in faith and obedience. And that's how we overcome these things. And like, we might be like, hey God, like, I don't feel qualified for this. But you know what? You've already given me that letter of recommendation. You've already given me that peace that I'm supposed to be here. So do you know what? I'm going to surrender this and say, hey God, you've given me this. Help me please in order to do this. So ultimately it brings glory to your name. Like, it needs to be a relationship, you know. We constantly need to ask God what he wants us to do, because he will give us the answer. And like, as much as I'm talking to you guys, as much as I'm saying this, I'm speaking to myself. Like, when I tell you I have felt this so much, like, and that's the thing, like, I'm learning so much in this, like just sharing, like, and, you know, being open. And I just really pray that it encourages you. I just pray that you know that God has called you for a reason that is far greater than what you can even think. And like, I know we obviously look at the Bible and we look at like David and all of these incredible Abraham, like, and we think to ourselves like, okay, God, like, they did a few bad things, you know, but you still called them, and they probably felt like they were disqualified in that moment, or like, God, like, I'm not really qualified for this, but like you know, supplied everything that they needed. And but he also does that for us too. And like, even just, yeah, reading that thing of like, we have been recommended by the one who matters most in this world. Like, he is like the ultimate king, savior, everything. And yeah, so I kind of wanted to just encourage you. Sorry, I've kind of like just like spurted at you for like 20 minutes. I'm so passionate about it. Like, I'm just so passionate about like, when we walk in faith and obedience, like, there's so much freedom and peace. Like, there's so much stuff going on in the world that is so sad and so hard. And actually, like, we just need to ask God, how do I deal with this? And he'll give you that. Like, he is such a kind God. Anyway, I'm aware that I've been talking for a minute. And like I say, just kind of like, I'm passionate, guys. Okay. And I just, yeah, I'm praying for you. I pray that this encourages you. I pray that you have a great week, and that you know that you are chosen. You are chosen and designed for a reason, for a purpose, you know? And you don't need a letter of recommendation, because you already have one. You have one from the person who died for you. Not only did he die for you, but he recommends you for what you're doing. Like, he sees you as best. So take that. But yeah, I just really pray that this just blesses you this week, and that, yeah, you will just go into that room knowing, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. And I will be back with another episode next week, and I will be praying for you all. And please pray for me too, because just as much as you might be walking through this, like, I'm also walking through it. So let's just keep each other in our prayers. And yeah, I just have an amazing February, guys. We've got this. We have got this. And I'll be back next week for another episode of TNT with your girl G.